Hey, we're live. Greetings from paradise. Welcome to the Enjoy the Journey Luxury Travel Show live from Everglades Alligator Farm. A special welcome to our live stream viewers and podcast listeners around the world. I'm your host, David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency. I'm the travel agent that always asks two questions. What is your bucket list trip? And where do you wish you were right now? We are live from Matt's Everglades Alligator Farm here in Homestead, Florida, the oldest alligator farm in South Florida. And our special guest today is my friend Matt Tybus, CEO of Everglades Alligator Farm. And on today's show, Matt is going to discuss his family's farm and feature some amazing activities guests do while visiting the farm, and obviously including the Airboat Ride. Wait till you see this footage I was at the farm a few weeks ago. My friend Jim Gaffney, who's going to call in later and tell us about his experience. And you wait till you see this footage. It is completely raw and completely cool. It is awesome. As always, please like this feed and share it. It really helps us out. And follow our social media and comment. We have trivia today. We're back with trivia, so please pay attention to trivia closely. Matt has prizes, right?
I do.
We're going to talk about prizes. So admissions to the farm?
I have two passes for adult admission. ×2, man.
Gonna give away your old Tesla?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for having me, though, David. I appreciate it.
No, this is always a fun show. And Matt, second time on, you're on late June. We were down at the Bug Pub, and it is going to be a fun show. So thank you for being here. As always, if we want to see Matt's show on June 29th or any show we have for the travel show, go to my YouTube channel. Fantastic Endeavors is the channel. Subscribe to that and go to the Enjoy the Journey playlist, and it has everything that we do here on the show. So our show is brought to you by my agency, Fantastic Endeavors, of which I'm an owner. That includes Skip Shear and now Sue Mooney, who used to be from Key Largo, and Skip's friend from Richmond who used to live here too, hence the Key Largo connection. And it really helps us by supporting the show. If you need in travel, please contact us. And as Matt and I talk, I will show you a few of the slides that we have here that you can follow us on. And pretty soon we're going to welcome Matt to the show. So Matt, how are you doing today?
I am great, man. It is just gorgeous outside, isn't it?
It's beautiful. You know what's funny? I thought this term, and it's pretty ironic. It is a Chamber of Commerce day in Key Largo.
It sure is, yeah.
And I knew Matt from certifying your lovely wife now, then fiance Maritza in scuba. But then you got me involved in the Key Largo Chamber of Commerce, and I was in the board of directors. And it is truly a unbelievable Key Largo Chamber of Commerce day today. I mean,
absolutely
unbelievable. And that's why we're here. Hello. We're here live from the farm, So first up, before Matt gets into his background, I do want to show you a little clip that get you excited about Everglades Alligator Farm. Hey, we're back live. Welcome back to the show. We have my guest here today here at Everglades Alligator Farm in Homestead, Florida with
That's right.
My friend and scuba connection, Matt Tybus.
Thanks for having me, David. Appreciate it.
So Matt, as always with all of our guests, you've been on before, you know the deal.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know me? Why are you here? How'd you get here?
Well, I mean, this is my place, but...
How did I get here?
How'd you get here? Yeah, absolutely. No, we met, as you mentioned earlier, through the dive certification program. If anybody is looking for private certification, are you still doing that, David?
Yeah, let's still teach a little bit.
Oh, wonderful.
Travel has me busy, but I still teach.
Yeah, incredible instructor. Very good for first timers and very knowledgeable. Yeah, I don't think that anybody has dived the Spiegel as many times as you.
People may have dived more, but no one has as many unique tours as I have.
Okay. So for anybody looking for that connection, my favorite dive in the Keys. Absolutely. Yep, this is Everglades Alligator Farm. As you can
Yeah.
see, we are home to over 2,000 alligators.
2,000, and a few of us we're hanging out right now.
Don't get too close to that one.
Yeah.
We have airboat rides, alligator shows, alligator feeding demonstrations, and we are an actual alligator farm. We raise alligators for their eggs and sell them all across the United States. We in fact supply. We don't actually butcher or tan or process alligators at this facility, but we do provide most of the United States exhibits with alligators. In fact, we sell alligators to California. We sell alligators to Alaska. We sell alligators to new exhibits opening all around the world.
Awesome. So all the alligators, basically the 2,000, you guys grow there. It truly is a farm.
There are a few alligators that come to us, and that is through Florida Fish and Wildlife connections. And when that happens, it's usually a nuisance alligator that ends up in somebody's pool. And so trappers are, in fact, they catch them and they either process the alligator or they rehome it. And yeah, they can take it to our facility and we've rehomed hundreds of alligators over the last 10 years.
That's an amazing service to the community doing that, because nuisance alligators are a problem. I mean, less so down here because we're more crocodiles and they're more docile.
Sure.
But I know you hear about, growing up before I moved to Florida, is about nuisance alligators, or alligators all about a culvert pit. That's amazing you guys do that. That's a big service to the community.
Helps everybody out.
When did the farm start and when did your family get involved?
So the alligator farm actually started in 1981. It was from a Baptist preacher converting a used trucking warehouse into a large actual just airboat facility. The man was a Baptist preacher named John Hudson, and he would line his airboats up on US 1 until Fish and Game finally ran them off.
Nice.
And that is in fact the origin of the alligator farm. It came to us through a family purchase. So we have been involved in the alligator farm since 91, and I've been at the alligator farm for about 15 years now.
15 years. Nice.
Yep.
So it truly is a family business.
It sure is.
And what we're doing now, guys, as we're talking, we are showing off pictures of the farm. A little bit is of Matt's stock photography, a little bit of pictures. I was there just recently, as I mentioned. After Matt and I finish the introduction, I'm going to go into videos that I took personally of the farm, of the different activities there. What I like about Matt's farm is that it's a well-organized setup. It's not just a zoo you walk around, but literally you keep people on point there.
Well, it is a little bit challenging in the time of COVID, but we try to space everybody out and give everybody the opportunity to see as much as possible in a small condensed version of the Everglades. You know, a lot of times when you go to visit these national parks, there's not a lot of opportunity to see or do anything inside the national park. And so people are very limited with their vacation time, and it's very precious to all of us. And so we offer a really good experience for about 2 to 3 hours.
It is a nice half-day trip.
Absolutely.
And it's nice because it's in a nice part of Homestead. You got Robert is here, there, Everglades National Park down the road, Schnebley's, which I'm a fan of. So depending on what your age and what you want to do, you're right in the thick of it all. And it's very easy to get to if you're on the way to the Keys, or if you live in the Keys, or if you're in South Florida. It caters to both locals and tourists, and it's great. Or if you're a cruise ship passenger on excursion. I saw a lot of cruises. Cruises are coming back, by the way. And you can get there in probably about an hour and 15, hour and a half from Miami.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can make it from the airport. We're about 45 minutes.
No, and I love the fact that when you get there, it's very organized. In a minute after the pictures roll through, I'll show off a map. And the map will give you an idea of layout. And on the map, right away, you have your time where you go.
Sure.
We were there filming a few weeks ago with my buddy Jim Gaffney, who's already on. Jim, we see you. Actually, I'll tell you right now, Jim already has a comment here I'll put up. And Jim G says, Jim Gaffney says, man, that was a great trip. He's a retired major, first officer, helicopter pilot. And he was down here visiting for the Homestead NASCAR races.
Oh, cool.
And we decided, hey, this would be a great time to get footage for the show. And thank you for hosting us.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming.
Jim just was great to have. And you'll see in the videos. I want to introduce Jim now because he will be on the show later, but he is part of the videos that we're gonna show next. But as we're talking about this, I'm gonna go. Oh, that's a great picture of Al, by the way. Fantastic photos.
Thanks, man.
And what I do like for you younger folks out there, it is a very Instagrammable location. I mean, between the unique backdrops and the animals and the what are those ostrich type things? The
we have some emus that are very
emus. Between the emus, and then never mind the airboat ride and everything else, and the unique conditions there, it's very Instagrammable.
We also have these custom tours that let people take a little bit more time. They're all private and guided, where we give guests the opportunity to get closer to the animals or to these incredible experiences that you can't really do anywhere else. We allow guests to feed over 250 large alligators right there face to face, just through a private feeding platform, which you can see right now in the background.
Nice. And below in the ticket here, guys, I'm showing off the Everglades Alligator information. So tell people real quick, how do they find you in physical location and how they find you online?
Of course. Yeah. If you book online, you can save a few dollars previous to your visit. It is everglades.com.
Okay.
Everglades.
How'd you guys beat the national park to that URL?
It was clever. My dad was a clever man, and everglades.com. And also our phone number is 305 Airboat. He definitely killed it.
305 Airboat. Yeah. Wow.
You can
Charlie's the man.
Yeah, Charlie's the man. Smart dude. We are located at the last exit of the turnpike, exit 0. And if you can find Robert is here, you can find us. We're just at the end of the street.
That is awesome. Now, how far are you from the entrance to, say, people visit you, how much farther to the national park entrance?
Absolutely. You can pair that with a full day trip to the national park.
That's
Flamingo is about 6 miles away. It is very close. And Flamingo has some really great scenic walks and nature walks, and they're really doing a lot there. They've added some glamping, I guess you could say, and they're working on rebuilding this hotel and restaurant over there. So I think it's going to be a really great visit, a combination visit. They'll be celebrating their 75th anniversary as the national park this year.
Nice. What's amazing is the size of that national park. I did a little bit of research, and in lieu of trivia questions, I was helping Matt out because last time you didn't know any questions. You came up with
Put me on the spot,
but now you have some good questions. Matt shared me his questions, so I hope you guys sharpen your pencils out there, my gurus. I see Leslie Wybson on board. I see obviously Jim Gaffney, Sherry's Byers Langston, Tom Monroe, Tom Quinn, Janice Beal. All the trivia gurus are on board, so sharpen your pencils. I will say, I'll ask Matt, how many acres is Everglades National Park?
Wow. You're just going to throw it out there. It is a few less than Yellowstone National Park is how I answer it. That's the political answer because they don't want that one to be the largest.
Oh, so that you can't say what it is, or you just can't?
I don't know the actual number. Sorry.
Well, it's about 2,500 square miles.
Okay.
Is the answer, or 1.5 million square miles, or like 5 times the size of Disney World, my Disney show. But I know that I grew up in Connecticut, and Connecticut's 3 million acres.
Okay.
So this thing is like half the size of Connecticut. Connecticut's a fairly sizable state. Like that's a lot of area. And that's where Matt's located. We are here with CEO Matt Tybus from Everglades Alligator Farm, a family business he grew up in and he now runs, and it's a wonderful experience. Next up, we're going to transition to a trivia question, then into my review of the farm, because I did an in-depth review a few weeks ago with Bonnie, our producer, and Jim Gaffney, retired major and first officer, who will be on the show later to talk about his firsthand experience. He's already commented in the feed. And first off, Matt, very important. They're all waiting.
Okay.
What is the first trivia question? And we are watching here, and actually I now this new software, I can put your answer in the chat for the first time.
Oh dear. Okay. Yeah. All right, here we go. Everybody knows about that invasive snake.
I can actually write it. So,
okay. The Burmese Python. Now they have recently found a 16-footer, and wow. They just captured a 16-footer last week in the Everglades National Park. But my question to you is, what animal are they training to hunt The invasive Burmese python.
Okay, so what animal are they training to hunt the Burmese python? And don't complain if Burmese is spelled wrong, folks.
Pretty close.
Python spelled wrong. All right, let me just.
Missing a U. All good.
All right, it's in there.
See.
So, all right, that's the question.
That is the question.
Comments, I get notices. Plus, I'll put up, as usual, my tablet crashed, but that's all right. The show's still going.
The show must go on.
Yeah, it's a Facebook thing. Appreciate Bonnie's comment before. Bonnie's part of the tour. She said she absolutely loved it. I did show that highlight.
Thanks, Bonnie.
All right, so let me kill the ticker here to free up resources for the questions. And that is, what animal are they training to hunt the Burmese python? It's out there. I'm going to move on to my story. I'm watching the comments. I'm on right now on David Hartman Facebook. Fantastic News Facebook, and there's our YouTube. So all three of those now, and my new platform I'm going on. And I'm seeing the views go up and up. We're doing real well today, so keep it going, guys.
We're going.
And what do they win if they get this right? So the first one I see in my chat.
We're gonna give away right here 2 adult Airboat Ride and general admission tickets.
2 adult Airboat Ride admission tickets to Everglades Alligator Farm in Homestead, Florida, right near Robert is here in Everglades National Park. Come on. What animal are they trained to hunt the Burmese python? I love that Matt gave a very localized question there, so you have to do your work at it. So, comments are up.
Do you have one?
Oh!
Yep, we got quite a few.
My two gurus come in at the same timestamp.
Oh, no.
Both nailed it.
How do we decide?
Of course, Bonnie, has got to be Janice Bevac, Sherry's Byers Langston. Matt, can you hook him up?
We'll work it out. I think we can make something work.
All right, so I'll put you guys up one at a time.
Dags.
Janice Bevac says dogs. Woo, that's correct. Sherry's Byers Langston. You gotta love loyal fans who stick around for the long form show. I mean, most of my show is watched, in recording because it's a longer show, and I appreciate you guys being on all the time. Yeah, you guys are battling, literally timestamp the same.
Almost got it. Yeah. Came in at the same time.
I mean, but Ty goes to the monitor. Janice got in in the feed first, but the timestamp is the same. So
we'll work it out. Sure.
Wow. We'll figure it out, guys, and get back to you. But congratulations. Stay tuned for a second question after I go through my tour of Everglades Alligator Farm coming up right now. So let me get rid of that and get rid of that question. And we'll go back.
It's cool software, man.
Yeah, pretty cool. I'm always looking to improve the show for my guest.
How's he doing, guys?
As always, doing fantastic. Next up, I want to go through. I went to the farm end of February, and we had a lot going on. And okay, boom, boom, boom. Oh, let me go to the map. Let me share this map before I go on. Stay tuned. This is very important. Okay, so this is a map of the farm. And let me get rid of Matt's there and get rid of the overlays. And right away on top of it, you'll notice there's a timestamp. And that's very important because they basically tell you when you're going to the feeding.
Sure.
When you're going to the wrestling. And most important, when your airboat ride is.
Absolutely.
So it's a very structured visit.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that.
And I love structure in my life. And that one, we're like, oh, geez, we got to move now. We had to get our cameras ready and my audio visual ready. It was a windy day, so it was very challenging, but it was a lot of fun to keep up with it. So on this map, it's actually a pretty small footprint, but include the nature trail, which is around on the right-hand side of the map that you're looking at. That's key because out there's a lot of, I don't have footage of that today because it's a long walk, but there's a lot of cool stuff out there. I've done that numerous times. I've been there. But the key things are really pretty easy to manage. It's a pretty small footprint, your farm, as far as getting around.
Absolutely. Yeah, we try to make sure that you can do and see everything.
Yeah, it's awesome. Now, is it always a certain order or it depends on when they arrive?
Yeah, we cater your visit based on when you arrive. And we do open at that 9 a.m. So our first airboat does go out at 9:25. But you can show up anytime throughout the day and you'll have a great experience in 2 hours. So we coordinate those airboats right around the time that you come, and we make sure that those shows are sandwiched right in between.
And when you're there, you hear those airboats going off like in sequence. It's like clockwork. And so on this map here, you'll see on the right, they give you the times. They write it down for you. And then right, the straightforward is the feeding. And that little island is the wrestling. And then hard right is most importantly, the food truck.
Sure. Yeah.
with the alligator tacos.
You can sample alligator in taco form.
And there's a lot to see walk around. So make sure, do your 3 activities, but make sure you also walk around as I bring us back to the show here. And there we go. So next up, I want to show you some videos of my experience at Matt's farm 2 weeks ago, because I always like to experience the product firsthand and then share experience with you, my audience. That's why I do what I do in travel. So what we're going to do first is a welcome by my buddy Jim and I, who'll be on the show in a little bit. I asked him to come on a little later because I have that power on this software. And then we're going to do walk in and then right to the feeding. And then we'll kind of check in with you guys real quick, and then we'll go to the other activities farm. So right now here is Everglades Alligator Farm, the front gate entrance when you walk there. Check it out right now. From the Everglades, David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency, here with my friend Jim Gaffney.
Hello.
Retired Major First Officer Jim Gaffney.
Yep.
Now soon to be commercial pilot. Talk to Jim about today because we're going to the races. We thought we'd stop by Everglades Alligator Farm to show off Matt's beautiful business on this show. And this is the entrance right here. Open 9 to 5:30 every day. Find about them online on everglades.com or Everglades Alligator Farm on Facebook and Instagram. It's a wonderful experience. We're going to go in and do 3 different shows of feeding of alligators, alligator wrestling, and my favorite, the Airboat Ride, which I'm very excited about.
That's the best part, I think. We're going to have fun doing that.
A little windy I heard today, but it's a nice cool day here in wonderful spring in South Florida. Make sure you check out this place when you come and visit the Keys or South Florida. It is really right on the way to the Everglades National Park and right past Robert is here. We're going to walk up and show you this sitting area, which is really nice, and then we're going to take off inside the office to check in. I love the alligator post.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Matt and his family have done a great job with the farm, making it beautiful. So if you're waiting to check in or waiting for your time to hit showings, kind of come out here and just relax. Matt, the place is looking great. You've done a great job. So we're going to go check in, and then next thing we're going to see you during one of our showings. But I think we're going to do the alligator feeding first. Stay tuned.
Oh, that was a horrible jump. He can do much better.
Everglades Alligator Farm. David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency. And I'm here getting footage of the alligator feeding. Just arrived on our set schedule. We're going to bow at 2:20. This is the 2 o'clock feeding.
Hey, I just wanted to welcome everybody to the Everglades Alligator Farm. I'll say one more time, how y'all doing today? Good. How about you guys? Good, awesome. All right, now, my name is Tyler. We have about 2 here. Yeah, he can spit it out on his own. Now, alligators only eat 2 pounds of food a month. Come on, dude, jump for it. Dude, come on. Yeah, let's go. What are you, lazy or something? You're big and strong. Come up the fence. Up, come on. Going in there to get a nice big splash out of those big group of gators. Yell water at the count of 3. Whatever I hear louder wins, okay? 1, 2, 3. Come here, old timer. Come on. All right, let's get one of you guys. Come on, let's get some motivation, for God's sake. There you go. I like you. You got it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Who's coming up? Who's coming up? Who's coming up? Hi, beautiful. Folks, big round of applause for that alligator. All right. Now, again, if you guys did enjoy my show and you want to learn more, come on over, ask questions. I'll be hanging out right over here. And of course, if you guys did have a good time, feel free to show your appreciation. Thank you all for coming. Have a great day.
Woo!
We're back.
Hey, now that's your introduction to the farm. Feeding hundreds of alligators. And by the way, Tyler, we were talking about Tyler during the video. Fantastic. I thought he did a great job. And you said he's kind of new to the staff.
He's relatively new. A lot of people that come to us, it takes a unique character, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
To really do this job.
How about balls of steel?
It takes. That is one of the requirements. In fact, he used to work for the Mitsukis before he came.
That's right.
He did a great. He seems like he's doing a great job.
Stay tuned, guys. We have an exclusive interview with Tyler later in the show because he's also the trainer of the wrestling, which we're going to show up next.
Okay.
And then we actually corralled Tyler like he corrals an alligator, and we interviewed him. He was very wonderful on camera, so we're going to show that interview next. But first off, your next activity in rotation at the alligator farm, it would say, tell you when you arrive. Don't worry. All you have to remember is watch your clock. They tell you when to be there. And it's all easy to find, is the alligator wrestling. Stay tuned right now. If you thought Tyler was impressive feeding alligators, wait to see him wrestle alligators.
More dangerous in the water, but it's easier on them.
That's a big old bag full of nukes right there.
Out here, they can thrash around, get out as much power and energy as they want, and they can't hurt themselves. Now when I've got him by the tail, I can feel every muscle in the tail and which side he puts tension on. So I know, without even looking at him, where and when that head turns to grab me. Because he can bite his own tail at the end here. That's how flexible and fast they can be. Alright, I'm going to get him right there. All right. So notice I'm not sitting on them. All right. So that's how the Native Americans would jump a wild alligator. Now a wild alligator is going to be a lot more afraid. Really, really death roll, pop their jaws a lot, spin left and right like crazy. I try to be really gentle, so that's why he acts a little bit more relaxed like this. But remember, he's very, very strong. Now, even though the alligator bites with all that power, he doesn't have a lot of power to open the mouth. The Native Americans saw this because they noticed little alligators biting the mouth of a big gator. He couldn't open his mouth. So they all bite really hard, even the small ones, but even the big ones don't have a lot of strength to open. So I'm going to hold his jaw shut with my throat now, showing you the Miccosukee and Seminole technique of bringing the alligator home alive. You kill it in the hunt, and then bring it home, it'll spoil it. So you got to do this.
Now, as my friend Luann C says, my new YouTube follower, yes, that is scary. And Tyler does an amazing job. Those are one of many activities you can watch at Everglades Alligator Farm. Now, was that always the rotation? How long has that been going on? How you organize the what you do at the farm when you go there?
Sure. Yeah, it's been going on for quite a few years. We used to also do a snake show, but unfortunately with COVID, that requires too many touch points.
Yes.
So it is temporarily suspended. And you know what? I found that most people are afraid of snakes, which is really strange.
Can imagine why. But so is Indiana Jones, so it makes sense. I do want to recognize some people that are on, and I do want to put some comments out there. As always, Sherry Bar Langston, she got the trivia question right, along with Janice Bezak. Ty goes to the runner. You both won. And my friend Mike Asenko. Hey, Mike, when my scuba diving buddies, I know Matt through scuba diving. That's how we met. So how ironic. And then here's a good question, which you do this commute all the time, so you have it well measured. Rich Schroeder, good friend and follower of the show, was just down here in January. Rich had a great question. How far is the farm from Key Largo?
It depends on where in Key Largo you are, but anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes.
Not bad.
Not too bad.
Nice little half-day trip. And basically you said the farm is about total from in your parking lot to back in your car. How long does it take?
It takes about 2 to 3 hours.
Depending on how much you want to enjoy activities. If you get a alligator taco at the food truck.
Yeah.
If you really get involved with, the activities there. So yeah, keep in mind there's 3 main activities, but you can probably spend a good hour exploring it's still a zoo. It's, still has a zoo aspect to it.
Yeah. And we add new exhibits all the time. We are trying to expand our crocodilian section. So we have several crocodiles also on display. And then we have a serpentarium and just other animals you'd see in the Everglades. We keep building that out. A lot of it comes to us through rescue, but we're always getting a little bit better every year.
And we did experience the whole zoo. We didn't have it all on video, but the pictures I showed before showed that. But you can go to Matt's Facebook page. You are on social media, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow us on Instagram or Facebook.
Yes. And I will say, as you'll hear in the Airboat Ride coming up, your staff is very good about promoting that.
Oh.
And never mind. In the wrestling video, you can see the banner, the good branding there. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. I love it. Everglades Alligator Farm on Facebook and Instagram. They do a great job. Their page is chock full of information and posts, and over 10,000 likes. That's fantastic.
Well, we have some really beautiful pictures. My wife also does the photography, and she does an incredible job.
Your wife is an awesome photographer.
Sure. Good
thing. Well, she's sister to Faith Ribeiro, so they're both photographers. We just hung out with them at the Chamber of Commerce. It's good to see the whole family together again. All right, next up, we're going to do the interview, as I mentioned, with the trainer you saw on both the activities. And is that normal? You see the same trainer, or?
Yeah, in the event of a normal day, that's how your visit would be. Mm-hmm.
So how it's going to go is we're going to show this video, and stay tuned. What's coming up is the really good stuff. So hang on. We got an airboat ride. An airboat ride. This is the creme de la creme of your visit, and it's always ends up working out. Maybe your last activity, but it's going to be your best activity. It's what you hear about, what you see about in movies and on TV or in magazines, online. It is awesome. I got some great footage to show you there. A little bit of sizzle reel for you there of my own footage, personal footage of that. And then we're also going to talk about a private tour that they offer at the farm, exclusive tour that you don't really hear about every day. They are bringing that back now that COVID is calming down and vaccines out there. Bonnie was just vaccinated yesterday. Oh, hey, a friend of ours from the Chamber of Commerce just chimed in. We have to show this. It's Peg Mullen. She says, great show. The Alligator Farm is always an amazing excursion for the families. There's so much to experience.
Hey, Peg.
Hey, Peg. Peg is a 2-time attendee on the show. She attended during the Zoom era when I had to be here on Zoom. I couldn't go out. You were in June, so I could go out to somewhere, and it was in the Bug Pub. And then her show in the fall from my first kind of roving show, and Tim gave me the idea during your visit there in June, is I bought this equipment where I could do a roving show, and that show got her so much business and people watching it, so it was great. Peg, thank you for being on. We appreciate you as always, and Peg is a wonderful friend and client of mine, and actually I was on the Chamber of Commerce with you guys together on the board.
Absolutely.
So, all right, next up, we're going to show you Tyler, the trainer. Tyler's last name?
Riffle.
Tyler Riffle. Didn't know that. Thank you. So this is Jim and I, my friend Jim, interviewing Tyler. and asking him, this is after he survived his wrestling experience and after he did the feeding. Tell us about his experience being a trainer at Everglades Alligator Farm.
I started filming.
Here at Everglades Alligator Farm, just finished the Alligator Wrestling with our man Tyler, who hosted both our feeding and the wrestling. Tyler, thank you. You did a great job on both.
My pleasure, brother.
So talk close to me because here's the mic right here.
Okay.
But so how'd you get started doing this?
So when I was about 10 years old, I really liked salamanders and frogs and things like that, and I thought those animals were really interesting, and then I wanted to share that information with everybody, how cool I thought they were. And as I got older, I realized people aren't really interested in that kind of stuff unless there's a lot of danger inherent. That's when I have your attention and teach you important things about conservation, not feeding or touching alligators, and that keeps them away from people, and that's a healthy coexistence. And so that's pretty much what I've been doing here for the last 9 years.
Excellent, excellent. And what is your favorite activity yourself that you like to do here?
Oh, I love doing the feedings. When you're feeding the alligators, people really get to see them, you know, just break bone and crush to the point where they even bite food and through the pig bones so hard their teeth break off and they keep biting more. And they'll grow those teeth back in a couple days. So it's just a really impressive display of their power and how fast they can move. Because during the wrestling show that I do, there's a lot of power going on, but I'm very careful to not use too much force because then that gives off the wrong impression. And so sometimes the alligator's too relaxed during the show, and people aren't as interested in that. But
sure.
People, even though I'm really just trying to keep the alligator safe.
Sure. Well, you put on a great show for both. Now,
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, I'm just out there having fun, trying to have fun with the alligators, honestly.
Now, do you? Last question. Do you have a favorite gator, one that you either the feeding or the wrestling that you really lean towards?
Yeah, so during the feeding, there's one I'll call out of 250 alligators. His name is Champion. And sometimes he won't respond at all. But sometimes I will call his name, and the 249 alligators are still as glass. And then that one gator crawls over all the other gators and comes right up to me and sits with an open mouth like this. So they're very stubborn. They're hard to train, but I've been working with him for 3 months, and I've already got him to do that about half the time. So I really like him. He's a handsome alligator. He's got nice, long, impressive jaws and everything like that. He's pretty smart.
Excellent, excellent. And I hear you're trying to recruit Jim to be an alligator wrestler?
I am.
Well, he said they're hiring. I want to fly the airboats. That's my next thing. He said they're hiring full time, but that won't work with my real job.
And the airboats just took off. Thanks, Tyler.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
And remember,
if you want to ride those airboats, you got to learn how to wrestle too.
I'm in.
You got to do both, man. You can't just do one.
I don't need my fingers and toes to count anymore.
That's right, man. It's a brave new world. They'll basically just, replace your fingers and toes with the little biometrics,
That's right. Good job,
man.
man.
It was a great,
Thanks, brother.
Great time talking with you guys. Thank you so much for coming
Tyler
out
was
here.
great. Remember, tip the guides here, tip the trainers here.
Thank you very much. That's my life insurance, brother.
Excellent, Tyler. Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was, thank you. That's my production assistant today with the mic. That was Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler Riffle.
Tyler Riffle.
You can find him on YouTube. He's got his own channel called Reptile Riff.
Oh, that's what he said. He liked reptiles. Yeah.
Reptile Riff. Nice.
I love that.
Check that out. We all have YouTube channels. Obviously, check out mine, Fantastic Never, but check out Tyler's Reptile
Riff.
Oh, his last name. Okay, very good. He's awesome, and you guys hire well because for new to the farm, he did fantastic. And we put him on the spot there, and he said, sure. And he, as you saw, I actually kept the whole interview. He was so good. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that. Next up is what you're waiting for. And thank you again for paying me around. So JG, Jim Gaffney said, hey, bud. Hey, Jim, if you're listening, come on the link I gave you this morning. I can send it to you again if needed. And love to have you come in and talk about your experience. And next up, I'm going to show off the creme de la creme before we talk about the private tour. And I'm going to talk about the Airboat Ride. This, there are times you can go to a zoo. There are times you can do an airboat ride, but this is the one place you can do both. And they have the unique experience of the feeding and the wrestling too. And that's what makes Matt's Farm so unique. And you don't have to go all the way to Tamiami Trail if you're a local down here or in Miami to do that. You can go right here in Homestead, Florida. So when I first went to Matt's Farm, I said, I couldn't believe, like, you guys have airboats right too, because you have that kind of connection to the Everglades. So was that Charlie's doing too?
Well, that was It just happened.
Yeah.
It just happened. In fact, our airboat rides are a little bit more wild than most of the airboat rides on Tamiami Trail. We have a lot more shallow water, so we
Yes.
go about 30 miles per hour and rip some crazy 360s. It is a wet ride.
Speaking of wet rides, thankfully when we went, it was an epic year for water this end of summer and fall last year. I know because coming back from my dad's house in Fort Myers, Shark Valley, which is an entrance to the Everglades, was closed,
Sure.
full of water. Driving through the loop road in the Everglades, I put that on videos. I'm on my YouTube page, Fantastic Endeavors.
Oh, cool.
And that was a bunch of water. One guy in front of us turned around. He was in a low-file cup, and Bonnie's just powering through. We got awesome footage of that. And so we knew this ride would be good, and these guys really had full reign of whatever they wanted to do. So excellent. So Jim's going to come on soon. So first off, we're going to show you the airboat ride from Everglades Alligator Farm. Check it out right now. Everglades Alligator Farm. We're heading on the airboat. We're very excited. Jimmy, you excited?
I'm excited, baby. Woo!
Here's Jim.
Alligator
Gaffney.
Farm. Take a little airboat ride.
There they are. And we're going that way. Put this on you. So you can show stuff off. There's our ride. The Yellow Dragon.
I like your mask. It's awesome.
Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Luke, like Scout.
I'm David. I'm doing some footage for Matt's coming on my travel show in 2 weeks.
Excellent. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
That's right. And it's what's the Facebook page again?
Everglades Alligator Farm.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, Everglades.com is the website. Thank you for a great ride, sir.
Hey, you got it.
That
Anytime.
was awesome. So a few questions for you. Make sure I'm still rolling.
Uh-huh.
How long you been driving here at the farm?
Ooh, probably about 7 years.
7 years. Enjoy doing it?
Oh, I love doing it.
Excellent. You have a great enthusiasm and a great story. That's fantastic.
This isn't work to me, man. We're just hanging out. We're driving boats, having a good time.
Question
Love
for
it.
you.
Yes, sir.
I know the levels of Everglades are a little bit higher of late with the rain.
Thank you, buddy.
With the rain and the improvements to the roadways to let water flow through. Was there ever a time you couldn't go out in recent years because it was too shallow?
We've had to shut down certain parts of the trails just because they do dry up to that point. But by that point, that's got to be a very unreasonably dry season.
Okay.
And then once the rain comes back, everything comes back to life. We're able to do everything again.
It's sweet out there now.
Oh yeah, it's actually the skinnier the water. There's a happy point, you know, to where it's not too deep and not too shallow, to where you get the best spins. And right now we're just about there.
Excellent. And how long was that total ride?
That total ride was probably about 20-25 minutes.
Very nice. Excellent. Nice to meet you, Luke.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
That's right. Everglades Alligator Farm.
Hey, have a great day.
Facebook
guys.
and Instagram. Thank you. Just some quick reaction.
Yeah, man, that was awesome.
We just got
great.
back from the Airboat Ride, Everglades Alligator Farm with Luke, Captain Luke. Oh, it's not your fault. This was our ride. Luke was our captain. And this was not my first time in the Everglades doing this, and my second or third time here, but your first time on it.
That was my first time. It was awesome. Highly recommend. Can't wait to bring my kids back to it. Actually, I think they're gonna really enjoy it. So it's a good family trip. So good stuff.
Yeah, what I like about it, it's so seamless. We just got here, did a feeding, did the boat ride, and now we're off to a wrestling match.
Yeah,
I think we're
yeah.
gonna compete,
It's all
right?
time perfect. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
On to the next activity here at Everglades Alligator Farm. Now, how cool was that? Airboat ride, awesome. It's about a 25-minute ride, as Luke mentioned. Obviously, we just gave you a few highlights. And the water level was, I would say, above normal.
For that time of year.
It was almost March. It was the last weekend of February. And that was just phenomenal. And we have a guest coming on virtually. We can do that here at our travel show. Jim himself is going to come on next and talk about his experience. And Jim and Matt have not met yet, but I'm going to put Jim on right now and see if we can get this working.
Hey, Jim.
All right. Hey, man.
Hey,
you got that
we can hear
technology
ya.
down, brother.
We're getting there, buddy. We're improving
I like
every single day.
Nice to meet you, Matt. Good to see you.
Appreciate you having you on. You're wonderful in the videos, and I appreciate having you as our show model that day and our NASCAR race weekend. So you said something in the video, but I couldn't get over your reaction to the farm. Really, you came along as a favor to me for show footage, but now that you've had time to think about it, tell Matt and the people watching firsthand, what was your thoughts as your first time there?
Man, it was great. I think I said it at the end of the trip, the airboat ride. I can't wait to bring my kids down there. They're gonna love it.
Great.
It's an easy way to take your kids and see something interesting. It's a good way to take two. You can be there an hour or you can be there 3 hours. It's something to do.
Exactly.
You see all sorts of animals, not just alligators. We watch the feeding. I'm sorry, I forgot the kid's name. What was his name that did the feeding and the wrestling, alligator wrestling?
Yes, that was Tyler, and then Luke was the airboat driver. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you, Tyler, what a great kid, man. He was unbelievable, and he's so good with the people that were asking him questions and the kids that were coming up to him, and even us just watching him do the alligator wrestling. Man, the whole time my heart was just it gives you that suspense, but he's such a professional and he's so friendly. He represents the alligator farm fantastically. Really, really, you got a good guy there. And Luke on the boat was just phenomenal as well. He's funny. He's real personable. It was great being out there. And man, I'd love a chance to drive those the boats, man. I'd love that.
He is helicopter certified.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
He is a commercial pilot now, so he may be qualified. He was actually
Wow.
he's like, "Do you need help?"
But yeah,
Jim, great
worth
test,
it, man. Definitely worth it.
So, was your favorite part of the whole experience the airboat ride?
Yeah, it was the Airboat Ride, but that's just kind of like, here's the thing is I've never seen alligators up close and personable in person before. And so it's really, the whole thing was really interesting to me. And that's what was really great about it.
Man, I really like to hear that. Thanks,
Yeah,
Jim.
that's impressive testimony. Jim, we appreciate you calling in. We got to close out the show soon, but man, you were great in the videos. You're even better
Good
here
to
in
see
person. We'll have you back down the key
Anytime.
soon. Thanks, Jim.
I love it. We'll see you.
Take
Bye.
care, buddy. That was Jim.
Wow.
He was on the videos and then he's here live on the show. So great testimonies. And, again, I've been there and I get it, but to see it through his eyes was such a different experience. And he said, to get close to alligators. I mean, we live here. It's like, whatever, alligators. And in the airboat ride, I've done it a few times at a few different places at Tamiami, and yours is obviously the best experience. But man, to hear his side of it is just phenomenal.
That's a good testimony too.
Now, I do want to talk about, if you want to get more in depth at Matt's farm, he has what's called a private tour. And I'm going to show off a quick reel right now. Let me get rid of, since we got Jim gone. And this is what's called, so is there a name for this tour? Or is it just called private tour?
So we have 3 types of tours. We have an alligator encounter, an animal meet and greet,
Okay.
and a private airboat ride. We combine all 3 to make the VIP tour. Includes photos and refreshments. It is the ultimate Everglades experience.
Wow.
Totally private, totally guided. And it puts you up close and personal with several different species of animals.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
Hold on. Before we do that, because it's getting late in the show, I do want to put the trivia question out there.
Let's
before.
do that.
Number 2, we have a tie in the first one. The answer was dogs for the species trained to hunt Burmese pythons.
That's right.
And then for our gurus, Sherry and Janice. So sharpen your pencil again. Matt, hold on. Let me get up here so I can put it there. What is the second trivia question?
Okay. Well, the Everglades is an important ecosystem for many
Yes.
types of animals, but these types of large sharks use the Everglades rivers as a place to birth their young.
Okay. What sharks use the Everglades rivers to birth their young? All right. That is the next question. For a entrance for 2 with Airboat Ride to Everglades Alligator Farm, please put that in the chat. We're watching all channels. And next up, we're going to show you a sizzle reel of the private tour you can do. And by the way, Everett, I'm still alive. We'll get to your question later after seeing this video. And here it is right now. This is a private tour of Everglades Alligator Farm. Check it out.
And we're back.
And we're back. So that was the private tour. And Matt, how they book that tour? What's the best way?
Those do require advanced bookings. They fill up quick. You can make reservations through our website, everglades.com.
Excellent. And as always, everglades.com, and on social media, Everglades Alligator Farm.
That's correct.
Facebook.
Yep.
And
Facebook
YouTube.
and Instagram.
So I see some comments. And by the way, I do want to address some people who showed up late.
Oh, no. Well, this actually solves the problem from before.
I guess it does. It does. So our gurus, loyal fans, Sherry's Bars Langston.
They came in at the same time. Amazing.
And Bull Sharks. I'm going to, I'll just show them. It doesn't show the timestamp, but Matt's watching.
Yep.
5:55, same time. And actually, Sherry's first this time in the monitor, but the tie goes to time. And Sherry says, is that correct?
That is correct.
So the answer of the question, let me just show that again real quick to remind people, is what shark uses the Everglades to birth their young? Pardon the typos in that quickly typed comment. And the answer by our gurus, our show loyalists, it pays to watch the show, pays to be on the show. And Bull Shark by Sherry's Bar Lansing. And there's numerous sharks answers, right?
There are actually, there are numerous sharks. We have the lemon shark.
I guessed one. I was correct, right?
Yep.
I guess he told me the question. I guess lemon was really an educated guess.
Black tip shark is another one.
Black tip. So you don't want to be hanging out in the rivers of the Everglades that time of year when they're birthing, because those are pretty aggressive sharks. I know bulls are very aggressive.
Bulls are quite aggressive. But
they show you proof on the screen. Janice and Sherry got it right. We'll get with you guys and work this out. And they don't even know each other. They're just fans from different reasons of the show. Janice found me on Facebook early on. And then Sherry's actually cousin of Michael Byers, who runs Pirates Cove.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And then I had his buddy Dave in the show, his partner, and then Mike on the show. And then she's been a fan. And actually Sherry came on my little Disney show that I do.
Well, we're looking forward to see you both.
Excellent, guys. Great to have you on. That was awesome. A few people I want to acknowledge, some other comments out there real quick. Again, Jim Gaffney, thank you for being part of the tour and the video I did and for make a great appearance on the show.
Thanks, Jim.
Excellent toasting by retired Major and First Officer Jim Gaffney. Served in the military as a helicopter mechanic and a pilot for many years, now a commercial airline pilot. New career, now living in Hallandale Beach, so he'll be down again. So Peg LeBron, thank you for the comment. I do want to say there's a few comments out here I just have to recognize. Where'd Everett's go? Everett, did you delete? Oh, here it is. Are you still alive? Yes, I survived it. It's a very safe experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is a great family experience. Bring your kids.
And it's also safe from a COVID perspective. I saw you guys are following proper protocols and doing everything that's been required.
There's lots of hand sanitizer around, and it's easy to space out and be outdoors.
I also noticed that some experiences aren't available like they used to be available. Right?
Yeah, we used to pass out a baby alligator that you could get your photo opportunity with.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we are trying to reduce as many high touch points as possible. We also don't have any of our old food machines but you can purchase bulk food in the gift shop to feed baby alligators with.
And that's important, that there's still good experiences. And then with the private tour, you can get even more involved. And I highly recommend the private tour. And I must give some kudos to our people. And Janice says, thank you so much. And Janice, loyalty pays off. You guys are our gurus in the show. Had a great show. A lot of people on board today. Thank you, Matt, again, for coming on the second time on the show.
Me.
Appearing here live from Everglades Alligator Farm in Homestead, Florida. We had a full review of his farm. As always, if you join this late, as soon as we finish, it goes on recording either on Facebook or YouTube. And go back and rewatch the whole thing. And you can't win the trivia, but you can always experience Matt's farm firsthand. Everglades.com.
Everglades.com.
And then on social media.
Everglades Alligator Farm.
There you go. Very easy. It's out there. To find it's easy on Google Maps. Is there an actual address or is it just on the way to?
Yeah, sure. Our address is 40351 Southwest 192 Avenue.
Very easy to find. Right past Robert is here, right in the way to Everglades National Park. If you're following the signs of Everglades National Park and past Robert is here, you will see the signs to Everglades Alligator Farm. Thank you all for being on. Next week, I'll be back in my home studio in Key Largo, Florida, live with a travel industry update. It's not going to be a full cruise update, but some things happened this week of cruising that was interesting. The first cruise almost happened, but didn't. And I do want to address some things very, very closely. And I'm working on some more guests for April, so check that out real soon. Appreciate you all being on. Happy Sunday, guys, and we will see you next week.
Have a great weekend.